that's all right. I want to move on to another team leader of another team, Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions. Obviously, his passer rating is 108.6 since Thanksgiving, which is 4th overall. And the only people in front of him are Kyler Minshew and Mac Jones, who have only played one game basically over that span. And then Tua and Stafford are 5th and 6th. Or is it fair? Like, were we too hard on Jared Goff?
No.
No?
He played like butt cheeks to start the season. He hasn't looked good. His first real good game, that kind of gave you hope to like, that's the Jared Goff that I remember watching in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And you want that. It's not like you want the guy to suffer and be god-awful. No. You want him to put together good drives. You want him to be, whether you like it or not, the leader of this team. He's the quarterback. He has to be. So, yes, a good Jared Goff is good for the Detroit Lions. I'm all for it. And no, nobody was harsh on him. He was playing really bad. Mm-hmm. Red zone turnovers, fumbling the ball every week. It was justified. It wasn't like people were out trying to hang him dry when he was out there carrying the team and playing well. No. This isn't a Derek Carr situation. What do you mean?
People always hung him out to dry. And he wasn't the problem.
Look, Matthew Stafford's time in Detroit will always be remembered as he underdelivered. He played 3 playoff games. He didn't win a single one of them. He regressed in each one of those playoff games. He hasn't thrown a touchdown, I believe, in his last 7 quarters or 8 quarters of playoff football. So, look, the criticism on Stafford is just as warranted.
No!
And I hope Michigan pound the snot out of Georgia because Matthew Stafford went there. But having said that,
you better relax.
But having said that,
Pelly went there too.
You can't give me a situation in Detroit where the Lions ever had the situation that Stafford's in right now. Mm-hmm. He's got a GM. He's got the coach. He's got the personnel. You really can't say that at any instance, maybe outside of one Schwartz year, where they really had it together. So, judge Stafford how you want, but I think the criticism on Goff was totally, it was totally justified. It really was.
Yeah.
And look, I'm really glad he finally showed up, and I hope you see similar performances the rest of the year. I am tired of Lions fans saying that Jared Goff can't throw the ball downfield. When you actually look at the numbers, he's effective downfield. Mm-hmm. Stop play calling like a bunch of wussies and put together an aggressive game plan. Stop being aggressive 4th and 1 on your own 28-yard line and start drawing up plays that actually move you down the field. Yep. Josh Reynolds has been an exceptional addition. Mm-hmm. That, I think, is what has turned it around.
That's what I was just going to ask you. What did you think the uptick was? Did you think, because obviously he admitted that there was a bit of a back injury. Obviously, we saw Tim Boyle come in. Was the bye week letting him clear his mind, heal up that injury, and then, or was it, maybe it was a combination, Josh Reynolds opening up that comfort level of his, and then it is also opening up St. Brown?
Look, St. Brown's gotten better. He's running better routes. You can tell just from watching the games he's getting more separation. So that's going to help any quarterback. Mm-hmm. Josh Reynolds brings that, chemistry that I think Goff was really lacking, and I don't think they were doing a good enough job of getting TJ Hockenson the ball. Yeah. That is your X factor player.
As a fantasy owner, I know they weren't.
Regardless of fantasy. You can't have that good of a tight end and not utilize him. And look at the games where he's actually been utilized. They've been in those games, and they've looked pretty decent. Get him the ball. Continue to play how you were playing. DeAndre Swift being out, it kind of forced their hand. They had to throw the ball more than they wanted to. And they look good doing it. So I'm not going to bash them for it. Play better. Better play calling. Goff is just fine. He's an average quarterback. You can win some football games with him. I'm not saying he's a franchise quarterback, but stop acting like this entire season fell on Jared Goff because of his poor play. It wasn't just Goff, believe me. Your coaches were learning on the fly how to coach and how to call plays mid-season. Anybody would struggle with that situation. And Aaron Glenn sitting there having to watch the ball get turned over in their own territory on downs, and then his defense having to force a field goal. That's fun. Stop it. The losses and the struggling isn't just on Jared Goff. And as much as I don't like him, it really isn't just on him. That's as fair as I can be.
I agree. I agree. Play calling not helping. A lot of people in the chat are agreeing with you. Reynolds is the one. Reynolds is the key to the rest of this season. Mr. Thomas says, no, stop overthinking. Goff is scared to throw the ball downfield. Tony Pasta says, add Cephas next year and a good pick, and we are styling.
If I recall the numbers, Mr. Thomas, and please go look at them. Jared Goff in his last 2 games, when throwing the ball 10 yards or more downfield, is completing 75% of his passes with a 4 touchdown, 0 interception ratio. Stop it. He's not scared to throw the ball downfield. Is he missing reads? Absolutely. I'm not saying he's a perfect quarterback or that he's playing extremely well. Last game was his first good game, and he had struggles and moments throughout that game where he didn't look good. But don't tell me he can't or he's scared to throw the ball downfield. He's doing it just fine, and it's actually effective. So stop it.
Yeah, Caitlin Jones makes a good point. She says, I think teams are focusing on Hawk. That's why his targets and production are going down.
That's fine.
We knew that coming into this year. He was going to be a double
Everybody knew
coverage.
that. Your job as a coordinator, and that was to Anthony Lynn and now Dan Campbell, your job is to scheme him open.
Yep.
Find ways to get him in motion, to avoid coverage, figure out what they're trying to play, and work against it and exploit it. Not sit there and, well, we can't throw the ball to TJ Hockenson. Oh, well, that's fine. We'll do something else. We'll run the ball 50 times. Stop it. We got to go to break. When we get back, I want to answer as many questions as we can. So
All right.
let's get that rolling.